Hey, y'all. Yeah, it's been a while. Welcome back to me. Wind down with. See, I done forgot the name. Lord help us. Wind down with AJ. Welcome back. Come in the room. Bless your
Oh
life.
Lord.
Um, I am back with another I Love You Black Man, another installment of the series, and I had to call my family, my big cousin, brother, all of the things.
All of the things now. All of the things.
He in the family though, but I don't. I mean, his name is Eddie, but we're gonna call him G today because that's what I call him. Okay.
There it is.
Well, hey, welcome.
I appreciate you for having me. This is gonna be interesting. We're gonna see what these, as you put it, simple simple questions are. But no, thank you for even thinking of me. I'm excited. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you for coming. Listen,
and let's have some fun.
Y'all. It's a long list. I'm gonna try. It took us forever to start because we were talking about our family and how big it is. Okay.
Listen, y'all don't understand. Y'all don't understand.
We come from a very long line of people. So
very, very long line.
A very long line. So within one cohort. So we're not even talking about the grandfather and his siblings. We talking about him by himself. Okay. So it's a long list I got to get through, but so we're gonna pray the Lord to help me, with my strength, because I'll be here all day.
Amen.
Anyway, so the first question is, what did you learn about being a Black man?
Yeah, you talking about simple. This ain't simple. What have I learned? What have I learned about being a Black man? There is not a simple answer to that question at all. Simply because I've learned sometimes right from the gate, from birth, we are given not even a shorty and a stick. We given small little love.
Mm-hmm.
We are, even myself, was given misinformation or not even taught about how to have emotional intelligence, how to actually properly acknowledge my feelings and what to do about my emotions and all that type of stuff. Learn that you are judged long before you say or do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Long before you say or do anything. And that's even as a little boy. Before you can open your mouth, there is already an assumption made about you as a whole, whether you are intelligent, if you're gifted, if you can hang, any of those things. I have learned that we are fantasy to a lot of other races. We're fantasy. That
that's good.
We are this I don't even, Holy Ghost. We are this imagination of a thing that at the same time creates excitement, the fear that it also creates, often ways that we're fantasy. We are Disney. We're Pixar. That's what I've learned. For a lot of races, that's what we are. That's why a lot of the women chase after us, because it's a fantasy thing. It's, oh my God, this. Oh, and I heard some things, and I piqued my interest. I really want to say this. You know, are they really that way? Are they as animalistic as I've heard?
And then be so confused when they don't understand what's going on.
Don't understand. Learn that we're taught, not all, but a good chunk of us, we were taught, woe is me.
That's a different one. I haven't heard that one.
That's what I've learned about being a Black man. But the positive, the flip side to all of that I would also say that I've learned is that we are nurturing. We'll be that sacrifice. Learned that we are capable of love. Because I've had to learn that. I've had to learn how to receive it in a healthy way. I wanted it, but I didn't know how to receive it in a healthy way. I chased after it because I felt for so long unloved.
Yeah.
And which is something that I never spoke of.
Right.
Because I endured a degree of mockery when it came to expressing my feelings of, oh, you being soft. You acting like a little girl.
Yeah.
So I had to learn that, no, it's okay for you to acknowledge these feelings because you have them. And, you just have to learn how to deal with these feelings. And yeah, we are capable actually giving love. And we are capable and we are worthy to be loved. Because so many of us are not taught that. I wasn't taught that. I wasn't taught that I was worthy of being loved. And there's no dig at other or family, anything of that nature.
Me and Quincy talk about that a lot on a couple episodes where we were saying that a lot of times, and again, this wasn't a dig at our dad, but like he even still kind of looks at us crazy because we're not super like outward affectionate. I don't like people don't touch me, don't hug me. I'll hug you, but then okay, this is getting a little weird. Don't hug me for too long. And then some days don't touch me at all. That's just me. But he was used to be that way. Like, what you crying about? Be a man about yourself. I am a whole girl, sir, what man am I gonna be about myself? And it was always like that with it didn't matter.
I'm amazed sometimes though, because, and you know this, that when it's at least 6, 7 of them together, they get to reminiscing about their childhood and all this other type of stuff, and they get to telling stories and all the type of stuff. And so, when I hear of how Big O and Reb were with them and how they raised them, and there was no, oh, that's my half this or that's my step. No, it's like y'all brothers and sisters. That's it. That's all. So that's why they are as close as they are, and I hear about how affectionate Granddaddy was, and the type of man that he was. Sometimes over the years, I've found myself a little bit at a loss because some of them, you can see they are affectionate. Like, Uncle Ricky. Uncle Ricky is affectionate. He see you, he gonna love on you and all that type of stuff. Uncle Baby, I would say, was another one to a degree that when he see you,
my Uncle Dave was always hugging on me or making sure.
Yeah, Uncle Dave was another one. You could just you have to sometimes be careful walking about Uncle Dave because he might just sit up there and just grab you out of nowhere, like, "Oh, come here!"
All the time, like,
you know what I'm saying. And then you just have ones that were not affectionate. My mother is not a very affectionate woman. She's not. I love my mama to life though. Mm-hmm. And we did not always. We butted heads. But my mother would be the first one to sit up there and tell you that she always told me and my brother, I can't raise y'all to be a man. Mm-hmm. Or whatever the case may be. But I applaud her though, because what she did do is that what I can say as a fully fledged grown man is that woman made sacrifices for me and my brother. And I'm quite sure we don't even know the number of them that she made for us. But and so even though she wasn't very affectionate, I can't say that in her own way she didn't show that, she loved us. She loves us, that we are her world. Because the truth of the matter is, whenever we were in a jam, present day, if she gonna come to her baby's aid, no matter what. So, period. I had to do a lot of growing. Yeah. Due to the things that took place. Spoken of to really.
Okay, wait. Don't go too far. Because we still ain't. Hold on, because we getting there.
Okay.
We getting there. Okay. Now, what's a misconception about being a black man?
That we did beat, and that we don't love black women. I want to work this correct. Beyond tired of this narrative that, thanks to social media, giving people who, in my humblest opinion, don't deserve a platform have a platform.
Yes.
And my pastor always, he used to always sit there and say, and I hear it even to this day. But he used to sit there and say, and it wasn't even just him. There used to be multiple people that God was saying to say the same thing to me. So I knew it was God trying to basically get my attention. Mm-hmm. And he used to always sit there and say, if you don't deal with that, you got to deal with that hurt that you're carrying. Because you walking around and you bleeding all over everybody. And so even though you could be up ministering the word, the people ain't getting the word. They getting that hurt that you're carrying. Because that's what's spilling out. It's the hurt. You can do all the studying you want, all that type of stuff. You can run the scriptures down backwards and forward from Genesis to Revelation. If you don't deal with that hurt that you're carrying and that you have, that's all the people gonna get. Mm-hmm. So when I see certain clips, heard different podcasts, I get annoyed because they help push this narrative that have us sitting up and looking at each other with such disgust and disdain and bitterness and resentment. And it's like, hey, yo,
relax.
No, chill out. That ain't it. That ain't the wave. Mm-hmm. You got to deal with your trauma. And as much as you may not want to, much as the enemy presents it, like it is this great thing that you will never overcome, that the pain is something you will never escape. No, you have to deal with your trauma. Because it doesn't matter how much time passes. I don't care. You can sit up there and you can call yourself getting married, have kids, all that type of stuff. Guess what? If you don't deal with that trauma, all you are doing is becoming a breeding ground for trauma.
You just gonna transfer it to your kids, and your kids gonna transfer it to their kids until somebody wake up and be like, enough is enough. I'm tired.
Enough is enough. So I hate that. I hate the fact that black men are being painted as if we're deadbeats. We don't care about black women. We just won't. We quick to disregard black women. We don't care about our children.
Let's put a caveat because there are some that do.
There are some, right? There are some. So here's my issue, right? Because it seems to me we are the only community
that airs it out.
Right?
Yeah, that's fair.
We are the only community that sits up and we air it out. We gotta make sure the some fact we hop on our soapbox and we got to let it be known some fact that don't date a black woman. All black women want is the some fact is they just want a nigga to sit up there and just take care of them. They don't want to do this and they.
Correct. They sound just like that too. Please relax.
And it's like, dude, shut up. Because that ain't true. Now, if the black woman in your life, and I'll go a step further in regards to say this. For many in our community, their issue does stimulate from their childhood because it stimulates from the relationship or lack thereof of their mother and their father.
Yes, but also let's put it like let's even build that out a little bit different. Like,
okay,
so I'm gonna use this as an example.
Okay,
my parents had a storybook. Okay. Sometimes parents It depends on the person. It depends on the father who will tell the kids, or it depends on the mother who will tell it to the kids. The parents forgetting that the child would never have the same relationship with that man and that woman that you have with that man and that woman. They will never be your parent. They will always be your significant other, but that's always going to be that child's parent. So how you get their parent to them is going to dictate what happens. And so how you get on this internet and dog the person you laid down with, you made the choice. Now we're not talking about the people who didn't make the choice.
Ooh, nah. Ooh, listen.
But you made the choice to lay down with that person and spread it.
I would put it this way. If people treated sex and procreating like they do avoided accountability, listen, you would have to create a plan B. Yeah. There would be no need for abortion clinics whatsoever.
Well,
because the way niggas avoid accountability, and I'm talking about men and women.
I mean, this is true. Mostly women gonna be mad at me for this, but women have a harder time accepting accountability than the men do. But we're not gonna jump on that soapbox.
No. But you ain't about to have your female followers sitting up there trying to do some Google me and find out where I'm at.
I said it. He didn't say it, and I said what I said. Argue about it in the comments, but when you argue about it in the comments, you're gonna prove my point. So anyway. But we will still need abortion clinics, because there's just certain moments where there's things that happen within the woman's body that can't carry it to term. So, but it's true. I'm going down the science history lesson. We don't got to do it. But you are absolutely correct. Those are good misconceptions. Those are good ones.
They are. They definitely are. And it I'm gonna say this, and then be ready for your next question. Knowing those misconceptions are out there, oftentimes, personally for me, they're hurtful.
Very true.
And they're heartbreaking simply just because I know better than that. I know for a fact that, even when I hear a woman, or I hear a black woman sit there and say, black men, and this is not the third, and even though I know I am not that black man that she's referring to.
Correct.
It's like, yeah, my God, that's what you see as her. Like,
it is, and that's her own trauma to deal with. That's not your burden to bear.
I shared this quick story. A friend who used to live in Detroit. I went to go visit her. And I met up with her and a couple of her friends and whatnot, and we was walking around the mall. And they ran into a lady, another black woman. And apparently she was hurt. And whatnot. And so when they got done talking to her and all this type of stuff and everything, I remember her friend was like, you should go apologize to her. And I'm like, at that time, apologize to her for what? I haven't done anything. Like, and she went to saying, oh, my father, and so she was like, oh, Eddie, you don't necessarily have to do anything. Sometimes just a woman hearing a man say, hey, I'm sorry, provides so much reassurance that there's some good men out there, or helps her in her, I guess, her healing journey and all this type of stuff, so forth and so on. And at the time, I ain't even gonna lie, I wasn't trying to hear none of that.
None of it.
I wasn't trying to hear none of that, because especially when you try to use her father as an example, And at that time, in my mind, I'm like, I ain't your daddy
at all.
I ain't do nothing to her. And so this just, oh, you should go over there. You should apologize. It's not the third. Like, I don't really. Nah, not really. I don't know about that. But it's I've learned since then though. Right, that's just, every now and again. It's like I make a post and I say, black women. I just want y'all to know. Like, I think y'all are the best thing God ever created on this earth and in this universe. Y'all are absolutely the best thing He ever created. And I stand on that. When I sat up there and I made a post on Facebook several years ago offering an apology to black women as a whole. When I saw the responses that it got, what old girl said years prior to that came back to my remembrance, and I'm like, okay, she was right.
Yeah. Here's my only thing.
What you gonna say?
Yes, that is great. That is, I always say you want to model and you want to do the things, and I always try to be that. But there's a certain time and space continuum where that's not going to matter. And setting a man up to be belittled and ridiculed, I find is more detrimental than a woman getting an apology she's not going to accept anyway. And to me,
definitely.
To me, it's a fine line between just apologizing because you want her to see that there's good men in the world, than her actually addressing the trauma that she has so she can see the good men in the world. Because anytime you are reacting to something, you're reacting from your trauma anyway. You're reacting from whatever stage you're in. So if you're in your trauma-filled world, everything anybody does is going to be trauma related. If you're not, if you're semi-healed, or if you're going through healing, or if you're in a place of peace, you're going to see things from a peaceful way most of the time. You get a little bit wiser when you realize, okay, you playing with me. Let me show you better than I can tell you how to back up and not do this. But as I've gotten older, I am a lot more sensitive to what you should subject a man to. Not out of fear that he's going to lash out, but out of protection of his mind and his heart. Because, of course, there are moments where it's always about the woman's feelings and it's always about the woman's considerations.
Right.
Consideration for the man and for who he is, who he's standing there with today. A woman's word can break a man.
And to that point, to your point, I would say this. I think the first time I ever heard a woman say she's sorry didn't even come from a black woman.
I believe you.
And when it finally did, I didn't even really know what to do. I didn't know what to do at all. Because I don't think black women said that they were sorry.
And that's not even being funny, but that's literally reality.
And so to see now that, and I know that I always knew the stuff that I know that there's black women, good, great black women out here. I know that. You can't change my mind about that. Right. Regardless of the stuff that I've been through with black women, there is just, you can't change my mind on the fact of that. I know for a fact there are some great and wonderful and loving Black women out here that truly do know how to love on a Black man. They know how to speak to him. They know how to motivate him. That know how to get him to see and tap into his own potential. That get him to understand.
Burden. Without it feeling like a burden, and without it
exactly.
Yeah, no, we'll be on that soapbox all day. Don't
listen. I'm trying. This, but and so, I am forever indebted to the women that God has placed in my life that now know how to speak to me. There has always been, from my own mother, if she ever a moment where definitely she's gonna pour into her son, she will serve as a reminder, hey, don't give up.
Yeah.
Both my godmothers, even of course my cousins, some of y'all that I'm close to, and even though we don't talk every day, there's what I appreciate with a lot of y'all though is when we are able to sit up there and we able to talk. Man, what a time! It's such a therapeutic time for me when I'm able to sit up there, and then you can ask your next question. I love my family, man. And there is absolutely, and I talked to our Uncle Bob about this on many different occasions. But I love my family. And I want to be able to be a blessing to my family, to our family overall, because that's how much I love our family. I really do. I love my family, man. My family means more than I can put into words. Because that's how much I love my family. And God knows that. God knows my prayers when it comes to my family and all that type of stuff. So when I get the opportunity to talk to y'all and have my female cousins pour into me, it hit different.
Yeah, I love kicking it with y'all. It'd be fun. I also be having to warn people. I was like, I don't know if y'all realize who I was raised and grew up with, but y'all gonna have to come a little different because I'm built different. That's just, y'all just don't get it. And I'm like, I came to Florida and it made it so much worse. Like, there's not much people can say to me, do to me that will move me. Like, I'm not moved by bare minimum. I'm not moved. And that's with anybody. It doesn't matter if you a nappy headed nigga that's trying to come around me or be with, no, it's anybody. Like, you can't move me. I am not, there's nothing that y'all can say or do that's gonna move me if I don't want to move. So it is what it is. Okay, so listen, this is gonna be a hard question because you can only say one.
Okay.
The next couple questions, actually.
Okay.
So, what is one thing you had to unlearn? Just one.
One thing that I've had to unlearn.
Yeah.
Manipulation.
Ooh. Okay. Tell me a little more, because I'm intrigued.
Well, I've had to learn how not to be manipulative. I realized, that really showed me. I mean, hard gut check of a lot of my ways.
Mm-hmm.
They were manipulative, and it was birthed out of me being manipulated. And so,
Okay.
uh, I had to unlearn, like, not to use my gifts to get my way,
Okay.
and to learn how to not take advantage of someone's kindness towards me,
Mm-hmm.
or in the sense of dealing with a woman, not take advantage of her liking me, actually wanting to be with me. And I know I didn't want to be with her. But because I knew I could get something out of her,
Yeah. That's
I
good.
manipulated her liking me. So I had to unlearn manipulation.
That's good awareness.
So
That's good. Okay. What? Don't do that. Don't do that. Wait. Ooh. Okay. What is one thing you want Black women in your life to know?
that I am and forever will be eternally grateful for them. All of them, every one of them, even the ones um, that brought some sorrow to a brother in my time in dealing with them. I mean, all my exes, especially the ones, and it's really just three in particular, honestly, that I can really associate with the greatest pain
Ooh.
imaginable. Transparency moment. But for your audience anyway, you already know. However, there was a point in time where I was preparing to be a father on more than one occasion.
Correct.
Decisions were made without me.
Without you.
A decision was made. And so I lost a total of 4 children.
Yeah, I do remember these. Yeah.
And so it took, and even still to this day, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, to this day, I'm still dealing with that.
Yeah.
Still, I'm still healing from that.
Yeah.
And whatnot. So, in that regard, though, not to get off track, I just want the Black woman in my life to know the self-fact, like, I appreciate you because in some way, shape, form, or fashion, you either bless me or force me to have to grow up.
Oof. Ooh, that's a deep one. That's good. That's so good. All right, we got 2 more. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. What is one thing you tell your younger self?
One thing I would tell my younger self is learn that you don't have to seek acceptance.
Oh, gems, bars.
That's what I would tell my younger self. You don't have to seek acceptance. So you will never find yourself becoming a people pleaser, because that's where a lot of your pain will come from, is being a people pleaser. A lot of my pain that I endured, a lot of my scars came from my desire wanting to be loved, which put me in a position of trying to seek acceptance, seeking out that love that caused me to cross paths with people who saw that, took advantage of that, and introduced me to, as I said earlier, manipulation and all that type of stuff, and trying to find me in them.
Wow!
So I would definitely sit up there and tell my younger self, you don't have to seek acceptance. Learn to accept you now. Learn that you have worth now, and that worth will only become greater as you get older.
Yeah. Okay. This one ain't gotta be deep. This one is just the last one. This one ain't gotta be deep. But what do you love about Black women?
What do I love women?
Limited to two.
Can't. It's just too many, so I'm gonna just say like this, right? I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna get real slangish with it. Everything. Listen, everything. I love everything about y'all, man. I love everything about Black women, man. Listen, I said it earlier, and I mean this. I really don't, and nothing against women of other races.
We just
props to you. Props to you. However, as far as when it comes to a Black woman, absolutely not. Everything from the way to some fact, y'all, some of y'all, you carry yourself with such elegance and grace, right down to some fact to the physical aspect of it. The way to some fact how sensual some of y'all are, and just in your whole presentation. Whether your hair is done up, you got braids, fox locks, or you just out here rocking rough and tough with your afro puffs. I like just everything to the understanding of your essence as a woman. That is a turn on to me. That is a wonderful thing. When I come across a Black woman that fully understands her essence as a woman, and she understands the self fact, like you just, and she not cocky with it. It's just confidence. Just like y'all love a man with confidence. We love a woman with some confidence. And when you come across a Black woman, who can confidently walk in the room and know that she ain't in competition with damn other woman in that room.
Period.
It's a beautiful thing. I love everything about y'all. I love how y'all know how to speak to us. Right? Yeah. I love how y'all can sit up there and our chemistry with y'all is just simply unmatched.
It's
and nothing against my interracial couples again. God bless you. But for me, in my experience,
it just hit different.
It hit different. My relationships that I've had with Black women hit different than women outside of my race that I've actually had a relationship with. And there ain't been that many, but the ones that I did have, it just hit different. I say it all the time, and everything about it is different. So
You know what?
I love everything about you. Everything.
You will be so surprised. I don't think I fully understood the essence, like the full essence of my womanhood until, how old am I? 32. I want to say 28, 29, maybe.
I can believe that.
Maybe 30.
I can believe that.
Like,
I can believe that.
It's been rough.
Because I didn't understand me as a man until my 30s. I didn't. I knew there was always this inner desire to, of course, be a husband, be a father, be able to take care of my family and all that type of stuff. But I didn't fully start learning how to like really understand me as a whole. Understand G as G and what makes G tick and what makes, what are G's triggers and all that, until I was well in my 30s.
Yeah, mine was a little weird because I was still like I say half nigga, like I was still a whole tomboy in my whole being. Like I was listen, because it's long story short, homeboy from last year, he was looking at me like I was crazy because he was like, why do I feel like the girl? Because why you don't want to cuddle with me? Why you don't want to? I don't like that. So, and I told you I don't like
you know what's funny is that I am for the longest, because as I said, auntie wasn't really affectionate.
Neither is your auntie over here. She not.
So I was seeking that, right? So I became that. I get in relationships, stuff like that. I kiss on a girl and this and that. Hug her out of nowhere. I like, baby, come here. Oh, we gonna cuddle. This is not.
All right, Uncle Dave Jr. Okay.
And now, but now, no. Now I'm in this place where it's like, unless I really like you, don't touch me.
Ain't happening.
Yeah, don't touch me. Please don't touch me. Hey, don't touch me. Don't put your hands on me. I'm still learning G, and I'm very much so laying out the things because this is my prayer. I always pray and ask God, show me myself. Always pray and ask God that. And Papa God has a funny way when I pray that prayer. Somebody gonna come along, and it is gonna be something about them that's gonna irritate the living hell out of me. It's gonna irritate the living hell out of me. And the next thing I know is the Holy Ghost will sit up there.
Amen.
Remind me of my prayer.
Okay.
That's why I'm annoyed. Okay, because all right, God. So then I need you to fix me. Then help me. That's where that with unlearning. God help me to no longer be manipulative. God, I don't want to be manipulative. I don't want to be deceitful. God, I don't want to manipulate nobody. I don't want to use my gift to manipulate nobody. God, I don't want to use your word to manipulate nobody. So God, take this out of me. I said, God, help me. Also help me not to manipulate nor be manipulated. That became my prayer. Once he showed it to me, that became my prayer. I tell people all the time, I say, you have a God-given right to pray and ask God to show you yourself and show you those around you. What you don't see, he does.
That's why I know my essence of myself now. Because, child, not me thinking I was ready to be a wife. It wasn't. My God. Woo! I was like, baby, I am hyper independent and don't know how to shut up sometimes. So, okay.
And that's the thing, right? Is whoever, because I'm praying for, Lord knows I'm praying for. And I am. Let me tell you something. I know God be up there shaking his head at his son sometimes. I know he do. And I know he be sitting up there and be like, oh, this boy of mine. Good God, man. What is because even when I'm at work, I sit up there and I say, I help you. God help you, son. Or I'll be thinking something, the Holy Ghost will check me like, or I'm saying something to myself, Holy Ghost, I'll be like, you're right, man.
I'm gonna shut up. You got
you're
me.
Right.
Shut up.
You're right.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. So,
clear.
I'm still learning me, man.
Yeah.
And I'm learning that and asking God that. I'm also learning he's not afraid
at all
of me being completely open to him and completely naked before him.
Oh, completely.
Utterly and completely.
Completely.
He's not afraid of me expressing my frustration, my anger. Even when I'm frustrated or I'm angry with him, he like, I'm listening. Yep, come on.
I'm gonna say this and then we're gonna wrap it on that. But I learned because I had a really heartbreaking, semi-traumatic experience that made me come to this point. But when I say me, I be cussing. I be like, God, this shit don't make no fucking sense. You gotta make it. You ain't gotta make it make sense. I understand. That ain't for me to understand. But at least come holler at you, girl, because this is hurting. And I feel like we had steps before we got here. I feel like you could have. Like, I'm just being honest. I just be like, you could have did something else before we got here.
We got here, man.
Holy Spirit, whichever one want to come off and want to do their job today. I just need one of y'all to come help me make peace of this because y'all didn't have to do this. There's so many steps you could have took. All I'm saying is I would have got it. Like, you ain't have to do this. I do this every day. God, you didn't have to do that, but I appreciate you because I know you know I needed it, but can you have some baby steps that you could have took and take something else? That's all I'm saying. Let me. I'm not gonna do this with you. Let me get off of here with you. But thank you again for coming. As always, I love you. You know that. I probably should call you more often, but life be life, and sometimes
life do be life.
But yeah, so y'all, what are some things that thank you. What are some things that gems that y'all got? Because there was a lot dropped. Yeah, do it down in the comments again. If you ain't like what I said what I said. Drop it down in the comments. You can argue about it amongst yourself. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Until next time, I love you so much.
Listen, like and subscribe now. Like, follow, and subscribe now.
Do what he says. But again,
like, follow, and subscribe.
We will see you guys next time. Bye.
Love you.